Have you ever considered how your outdoor recreational activities impact the environment? Let's delve into the environmental hazards of outdoor adventures and explore a way to ensure a sustainable and safe outdoor experience. Are you ready to take on the challenge of balancing adventure with environmental responsibility?
Outdoor recreational activities have so much to offer to people. This includes fun and pleasure, general wellness of an individual, and sometimes environmental hazard.
According to the School Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Manual Booklet 1 of DepEd, hazard is a dangerous phenomenon, substance, or human activity that may cause loss of life, injury, or other health impacts, property damage, social and economic disruption, loss of livelihoods and services, or environmental damage.
Mishaps are avoidable. The most effective way to prevent them is to adequately prepare for the trip. That includes knowing the environmental hazard you may encounter during the outdoor recreational activity.
In Southern Utah University, any outdoor activity has inherent risks. When planning a project in the outdoors, it is important to account for the risk, accept the ones you cannot change, and mitigating the risk you can. When assessing the potential environmental hazards, you need to look at three factors.
Location and terrain. The terrain is defined as the specific physical features of an area of land. The location and the terrain contribute to the hazardous condition when staying and walking into the site. Some environmental hazards that depend upon your location and terrain are uneven surface, wet grass, and mud. Holes in the ground can cause trips or falls, rocky trails, exposed sledge, darkness, and poison ivy.
Season climate. Keep an eye on the current and predicted weather conditions. Know the signs for approaching storms or changing weather conditions. Some areas are susceptible to certain types of severe weather. Weather hazards include lightning and thunderstorm, including strong wind and tornadoes, freezing rain and hail, and being overexposed to sun.
Equipment and transportation. Keep your equipment in good condition. Inspect them before your trip. Do not wait until you are at the trailhead. Beyond the activity, the equipment and driving transportation are also considered environmental hazards. Equipment: broken stove, boots not broken in, improper clothing, inoperative equipment. Driving transportation: bad road conditions, darkness, unfamiliar road, difficult road, other erratic drivers, pedestrians, cyclists.
But wait! Is there any deaths that happened during an outside recreational activity? As someone who has been hiking since I was a kid, and climbing and leading people in the outdoors the past 4 years, is that there's no trend of tragedy. Other than word of the occasional heart attack or death in a high-end mountaineering expedition, I don't hear much about the deaths of people in the outdoors, said by Stacy Bear.
10 essential equipment for mountaineering. It is a good idea to work on a checklist that is tailored to the nature of the outing when planning for your next mountaineering trip. Here are the 10 essential pieces of equipment that mountaineering should prepare and bring when climbing a mountain. First, navigation. Today's mountaineering career 5 essential tools while navigating to their destination. The map, altimeter, compass, GPS device, and personal locator beacon or other devices to contact emergency first responders. Second, headlamp. In the outdoors, headlamps are the flashlight or choice, freeing hands for anything from cooking to climbing. If the parties plan to return before dark, each member should carry a headlamp. Third, sun protection. These include carrying and wearing sunglasses, sun protective clothes, and broad spectrum sunscreen rated at least SPF 30. Fourth, first aid. Carrying and knowing how to use first aid kit should not give you a false sense of security. Avoid injuries or sickness is the best course of action to take in the first place. The knife. These are useful for first aid, food preparation, repairs, and climbing. Therefore, everyone in the group should carry one.
Fire. Most climbers carry a disposable butane lighter or two instead of matches. Either must be reliable. Shelter. Carrying some sort of emergency shelter from rain and wind, such as plastic tube tent or a jumbo plastic trash bag. Extra food. The food should require no cooking, be easily digestible, and store well for long periods. Extra water. Always carry at least one water bottle of hydration bag. Extra clothes. It refers to additional layers that would be needed to survive long, inactive hours of an unplanned camp.
Commonly used life-saving equipment in aquatic activities. The first one is life jackets. This can be a help of the person wearing it from drowning. Thus, it is important to always wear a life jacket throughout the water activity. Safety helmets. They are used mostly for water sports involving a higher risk factor like water skiing and kayaking activities, but it is important to use them whenever required.
Safety harness. They should be tied tightly enough to allow free movement in the boat or on deck, but not so loose that the person may fall overboard, leading to a lot of injuries. Life buoys. These are ring-like flotation devices that prevent people from drowning. First aid kits. It is the first requirement for medical assistance in case of an emergency and hence is a must-have safety measure on every boat. Maps. It is important to navigate rightly and follow the basic safety rules while taking any vessel out in the water, be it for rafting or boating.
Distress signal. These include light-emitting beacons and flares that are important to gain the attention of passers-by for help during an emergency. Radios. It will enable the person in need to get in touch with the control center and get assistance in case of an emergency. Water gauge. Carrying a water gauge at all times helps one stay updated about the climate and any potential weather change. Personal locator. The beacon is an electronic transmitter that sends out a signal alerting the rescuers of the location. People regularly use this device for crew saving in lifeboats and savings. Adventure safely. Respect nature. Embrace outdoor fun responsibly.